This is interesting. A black Honda Prologue just pulled up, and instead of going to that charger over there, now this guy should be finished. Actually, I think this guy is at 100%, if I'm not mistaken. He should be leaving with this Kia something or rather. I think it's a Niro. So she pulled up to that charger, and she's getting the plug from that charger and parking on that side. So yeah, it's funny. Eventually people will figure out a way to make something work. My thought was that I really believe that, and I know they do it in Europe, most of these cars come with their own plug, right? It seems to me that you should be, like, he's getting out now. You can see he's because now he sees people starting to get interested in that charger, but he's done. His charge is complete. And that it's like the Night's Watch. Now his charge is ended. But anyway, I think the machines could be by themselves and people can have plugs in their cars and then run their plug to the machine. And the reason why I say that is because most of our cars, pretty much all of our cars, come with a NEMA 1450 adapter. So in our trunks, we all have a NEMA 1450 adapter, right? If they had the machines and the machines just let you plug right into them, then that would mean that people would be able to bring their own cable, and that means they'd be able to actually dictate the length of their cable. So if you have like a really big car, like a Hummer EV or a Chevy Avalanche EV or something, and you need to park a slight distance away from the charger and the parking spots are too close together, that would actually make it so that you could, carry around your own plug and you could plug into any charge point. See, this is the problem. The people who put all of this shit together, these motherfuckers have either no imagination or they don't think. You see that AMC movie theater over there? Now imagine AMC said, yeah, we want to have charging things in the back of our AMC theater, right? Would it make more sense to have these machines, or would it make more sense to simply have plugs? And if they had plugs, then they could charge you a fee to plug into it. So this way they make money, and this way the company makes money. And if they did it right, they could increase the number of places to charge, and it wouldn't even cost that much money because all you'd be doing is installing a couple of, chargers into the cars. Now, in an idealistic world, you could even have reverse charging so that, let's say the power went out in that building, that these things could, charge the emergency lighting by sucking power from the cars, like it's bi-directional. If I'm not mistaken, Lucid has bi-directional charging, if I'm not mistaken. I think also Rivian does it. But most of these other car companies haven't caught on to it yet. But the other thing I was thinking, I'm not at my house all day. I'm not at my second house all day. If I wanted to, I could charge people money to come to my driveway. And I could say, like on an app, I could say, you know what, between, let's say, 8 o'clock and 3 o'clock, you're allowed to use my charger. And I'll make a little bit of money off of it, and I'll charge a fee. I can decide what my profit margin wants to be, and I'll charge a fee. EVgo or Electrify America, whoever supplies the equipment or whatever, they get a small fee, or it goes directly to my electric company. If you really think about it, there's a lot of houses that have big driveways, and they're in places where people wouldn't mind other people using the driveway. For example, in Manhattan, if there's a person who has a home and it has a private driveway, what some people do is they rent their driveways and they allow like these people to park their cars in their driveway, because if you were to try to park into the public parking lot, it would cost you a fortune. But there's some people who make a deal and they'd be like, okay, you can park in my driveway. I'll only charge you, I don't know, $200 or $300 a month or something like that. And most people think that's fair considering what the public parking lots charge. The public parking lots charge a fortune to park in those things. But imagine you could park in my driveway, and imagine I have an EV charger and I allow you to use my driveway and my EV charger. I could charge you $500 a month and you'd gladly pay it. And what that would do is that would increase the amount of usable chargers or available chargers. And that would actually help a lot towards EV adoption, because regardless how you feel about it, EV adoption is coming. It's like, I've been saying that this is the future. You've been trying to deny it. You see that Jeep right there? It's a hybrid. That thing he's probably going to plug in somewhere, but he probably plug in at home because he's got the 110 volt charger. But I've been saying EVs and plug-in hybrids are the future. And that's the bottom line. Now, a lot of people hate that. Oh, they take it on V8 engines. Yeah, that's right. All of the governments of the world band together and said, guess what? Global warming is real, regardless if you believe in it or not. Climate change is real, regardless whether you believe in it or not. So what we're going to do is we're all going to band together, and we are going to reduce the displacement of these engines. I was looking online at Drag Times and a couple other reviewers. They had the Lamborghini Tamarina. I don't know what the fucking name is because it sounds stupid anyway. And it might as well sound stupid because it has a V8 engine with turbochargers in it. It's the replacement for the Huracan, which, you know, the Huracan was a cool car. I just didn't really like it. I like the Aventador. I think the Aventador was the nicest Lamborghini they made in a while. The Revuelto is kind of cute, but it's like they didn't really do much to change it from what we had in the Aventador, you know? Now, if they would be smart and make the Revuelto and all of the V12 Lamborghini, because the V12 is not going to be around very long. This may be the last generation of cars that you see with the V12, Ferrari, the Lamborghini. This may be the last generation you see with V12, because as you see, Bugatti doesn't have W16 anymore. That's gone. This may be the last generation you see with those engines. But my thinking is, it's like all of these governments, they basically said, nah, listen, everything's going to be a hybrid now. So even that Tamarina is it's a hybrid. It's a V8 with fucking turbochargers, and it's a hybrid. The sad reality is nobody wants that. What they want, if you gave these people a choice, and you say, which one do you want? Do you want a hybrid V8 with twin turbos, or do you want a V10? It's obvious what they're going to say. They're going to say, nah, we want the V10. I don't give a fuck about all this other stuff. They don't want that. They want the V10. It's just like with the V12. If you say, hey, what do you want? Do you want a V8 with turbochargers that makes more horsepower and more torque, or do you just want a regular V12? They're going to say they want the V12 because they know that the V12 is going to be more torque at low ends, and they also know it's going to sound better. That's the reality. It doesn't have fake engine sounds. So the reality is, you're not going to get what you want. Dodge is dead. Stellantis fucked Dodge over and killed Dodge. They also killed Chrysler. And ultimately, both of those companies may end up being purchased by the Chinese. They're saying that BYD is interested in buying them. And the reality is, depending upon what happens in November, if Trump gets in there and he does, stick with his plans to put tariffs on those Chinese goods, all that means is that Americans are going to end up paying more for Chinese vehicles. However, if BYD buys Chrysler and buys Dodge, if the Chinese buy Chrysler and buy Dodge, what that ultimately means is that, as far as I know, the build quality may actually improve, but it's too early to say. But what it means is that they can get around the tariffs, because these will be American-made cars with a Chinese owner behind them. And if BYD does buy Dodge and Chrysler, that will be the only thing that stops them from, basically disappearing from this earth. Because as it stands, Stellantis has destroyed those companies, has ruined them. And at this point, they're both irrelevant. Chrysler, all it makes is a minivan. There's a lot of people who will say, oh, I'll never buy a Chrysler Pacifica minivan. There's a lot of people who say, nah, I'd rather have a Kia Carnival or a Toyota minivan or something like that. So Chrysler, without the Chrysler 300, Chrysler's dead. It could also, it's sad. I remember when Chrysler they had the Chrysler 300. They had the Chrysler, they had an SUV that was just like the Dodge Durango. I believe it was called the, I can bet it had a name like a mountain or something. I think it began with an A. It was like the Chrysler Apex or some shit like that. It'll come back to me. I can't even remember what it was. But they had a Durango clone Chrysler SUV. And it wasn't terrible. It was actually pretty okay at that time. It wasn't terrible. But had Chrysler and Dodge, had they, badge engineered the Hellcat engine, they could have had Chrysler 300 and they could have had the Chrysler SUV with a fucking Hellcat engine in it. And then automatically it would have been cool. It would have been something worth talking about. But they didn't do that. They left all the power in the Dodge cars and they killed everything else. Ram was a spinoff, the Ram TRX being the best truck that probably has ever been made. But now that's going away. Now they have this RHO, which doesn't have the Hellcat engine. It sucks. Everything just sucks. Everything's so boring now. But that's where we're going. And all these people, I just keep my old car. It's like, listen, when those insurance companies raise your rates and the registration companies decide to enact global warming restrictions, all they're going to do is they're going to make it so that if you do have an old car and it's an old V8, they'll use the emissions regulations against you and they'll just charge you a lot more money for it. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, well, I'll just afford it. It's like, no, you won't. They know exactly how to tax you right out of something. That's what government does. So it's sad, but that's exactly what they do, and that's how they do it. They tax the shit out of you. They don't have to do it by force. They don't have to fight you. They don't have to send soldiers. No. They'll tax the shit out of you. That's how it works. That's how they get you. So, it is what it is. It's like you're just going to have to adapt. So you have a choice. It's like either you're going to have a Chevy Bolt like this guy, or you're going to have like one of them Nissan Arias like the people who were over there a second ago. Otherwise, you can get one of these Honda Prologues. Not a bad car, actually. I actually like the Prologue. I would never buy a Honda, but if I ever bought a Honda, I'd probably buy a Honda Prologue. I would never buy a fucking Honda, though. Ever. I wouldn't do it. I would not, could not, Sam I am. I would not, could not eat green eggs and ham. But that's just where we are.
Good.
Hit my blood, that's my joy. Come to the electric vehicle charger enough, eventually you'll see everything. So look who we've got today. We've got a Mercedes EQE SUV. I was having a conversation with my cousin about the EQS SUV this morning. And we were debating about which one was better, the car versus the SUV. I felt that the SUV was actually better because it was bigger. My problem was the shape of it. Now, I think the EQE looks pretty good. I think the EQS doesn't look as good as the EQE. I think the EQE, because of its size, it works a little bit better. It's a very lovely car. It has pretty much everything the EQS SUV has, with the exception that the EQS SUV has reclining rear seats. But that's the thing. Everybody, I really hope GM and EVgo are going to continue to build this type of charger where you get to charge two cars at once. I really hope that more Targets, I don't care if it's tax incentives or whatever, I hope more Targets will adopt electric vehicle chargers to their parking lots, because for the most part, Target is not Walmart. It's like Walmart's a better place to shop. Targets, they always pick these stores that have these gigantic parking lots. The thing about it is, as you can see, the majority of this shit is not full. This parking lot's about 30% full. On any given day, it doesn't matter what day it is. Sunday, Saturday, it really doesn't matter. It's always about 30% full. So they might as well help out. Is that a TRX? It's TRX. Ram TRX and Mercedes S-Class. Wow. So cool, man. But yeah, my thing is all Targets should have EVgo park. Like, hopefully the government is giving incentives to stores that have gigantic parking lots so that they can help with electric vehicle charging. You know, so I'd rather give tax breaks and tax credits to electric vehicle charging than to give a fucking dime to Ukraine or Israel. I wouldn't give them a dime. This is where I'd spend my money. I mean, as a taxpayer, you're supposed to have a say, you know? Look at that Navigator. They got a new Navigator for 2025, and it's going to basically be a big Nautilus. It's going to have that huge touch screen well, it's not a touch screen. It's going to have a huge screen that just stretches across and everything. It's going to be very nice. It's going to be very, very nice. Nothing going on out here. Yeah, my battery was about halfway empty. I've been driving a lot lately, and I've been driving like long distances. So I figured, yeah, just stop by and charge. I figured, hey, the charger's not full, might as well do it now, right? With the EQE SUV, she wanted to switch spots. So she wanted to get onto that big rapid charger. See, a lot of people come here and they want to use the rapid charger that's $350. I will use the regular chargers simply because I know everybody else is going after that one. So the thing about it is, for me, we got a Lucid. Oh, we got a Lucid pulling up. I haven't seen one of those pull up yet. Yeah, we got the Lucid here. Oh, no, they're not too bad. Yeah, they make the fastest electric vehicle there is. They make one so fast the thing is able to beat a Bugatti. Holy Christ. Wow, what a day. Got the Lucid pull up. Oh, snap. We got the Lucid pulled up. Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
You're the first Lucid I've seen pull up in here. Very nice.
This is the first time I've even tried this one.
Uh-oh.
I'm not even sure how it works.
Uh-oh, we're in for this is going to be interesting.
What do I need? Just
Did you downloaded the app? Do you have free charging?
From the Electrify America, not from EVgo.
Oh, you only have from home. You could use the credit card, yeah. Wow. Got my favorite color.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, all right. Well, there you go. Tesla before?
Yeah, I've had it for 9 years. Still have it.
Why just? Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay, cool. And its battery is still good and everything?
Yeah.
9 years, not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I help this guy get charged and I'm out of here, I'm done for the day. 46, so you're just a little less than half.
Right.
And charging at 94 kilowatts. Okay, so that should be cool. All right.
Well, I appreciate your
Sure, no problem.
help. Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice car, so I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Get out of here. All right. Yeah, it's like I like actually looking at people's cars and finding out how they work, because you learn a little bit about these cars. Like with that EQE, I just learned that those things have a unlock plug button that I didn't know about. Look at this guy. This guy thinks he's cool, but he only got 20s. right? Yeah, it's like I actually like helping people do their charging thing because this way I get to learn more about how the system itself works. So I don't need to always go for the most powerful charger because when you get the lesser charger, nobody's trying to rush you to use it. So, we're doing the rollout. Yeah, more people are getting these cars, but then again, that's what the market is. If you put out any electric car, everybody's trying to buy them. So I'm just glad that I got mine spec'd the way I got mine spec'd, because this guy doesn't have the power moonroof. He doesn't have the 22s. And on top of that, he doesn't have the 19 kilowatt charger. So this car is fully loaded. Like, this car has every single feature. That's why I don't think I'm going to get rid of this car. At the end of the lease, I may have the battery health checked. And if things are good, like if it's like above 85 or if it's like 80% or better or something, who knows? Maybe I'll just keep it. Because the battery is warranty for like 10 years. So, you know, I can't think of the industry making anything else I want, because I know I don't want a Dodge Charger EV, and I know I don't want a Jeep Wagoneer. It's not even called a Jeep no more. I know I don't want a Wagoneer EV. I don't want shit from Stellantis. Look at a G-Wagon. They got an electric G-Wagon too. They call it the G-Wagon Electrified. So, you know, time will tell. There'll be new products. I'm not sure what my next car will be, but what I do know is in 3 years, I'll have a next car. I just don't know. In fact, I shouldn't even say 3 years. I should say 2 years, because we're entering winter of 2024 right now. So 2027, I'll be getting something else. And what is it, January 2027? Who knows what they'll have? I don't know. Maybe an Escalade IQ. Maybe a Vistic. Who knows? But I enjoy this car. I really don't need a bigger car. I really don't need it. Like, this car is freaking perfect. Unlike the XT5, this car has more backseat space. This car has more front seat space. It's like, this car is way more comfortable to drive than the XT5. It's much, much smoother. Why is it these people don't use turn signals? Like, I've seen so many people today not using turn signals. It's starting to make me lose faith in humanity. It's like, people drive like you got BMWs. It's like only BMWs don't use turn signals. That's why they get into horrific car accidents and die. Uh-oh, it's the cops. What are they doing? What are y'all doing? Somebody stopped me in traffic. The guy was driving a truck. He was like, yo, man, your car is fire. I didn't even see you at first. Yo, man, your car is fire. I was like, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. On to the highway. I don't think there'll be anything much more exciting. Not right now, anyway. It's the middle of the day, after all. This shit. So he's got one out here, and he's got this other one right here. Oh, and then they got another one. A lot of Cybertrucks piling up all of a sudden. You don't see too many of these Trackhawks around anymore. Some stupid little Mitsubishi trying to sneak up on me for some reason. Uh-oh, and he's got a stupid ass Supra behind him. I guess these idiots are racing. guys need to take the defensive driver course offered by New York State Department of Transportation. Oh shit. So there's a Maybach, there's an S-Class Maybach right behind this Maybach truck. I don't know if they're related. But two of them chilling together. Who's right here? I don't know who. Okay, so they got the EQS, Escalade, Porsche, Rolls Royce, another Oh fuck, that's the Wraith. Oh shit. Yo, they got. Yo, wait a minute. Wait. That's the fucking Spectre. Huh? Oh shit. Yo, they. Oh shit. These niggas working on my. Yo, what's going on over here? Huh? A raffle. Oh, let me just turn around. Holy shit. Yo, who's got the Spectre?
They doing some type of raffling going on.
No shit.
What's up, brother? I watch your channel, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So it's a raffle. Who's doing the raffle?
As far as I know, I'm not even.
Oh, you're not part of it. What is it? A church?
It's like some Dominican organization.
A Dominican organization.
So they raffling off the Lambo, the Spectre.
They're raffling off a Lamborghini Urus.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
And what's the buy-in?
I have no idea. I don't really know the details, but
What are they, YouTubers or something?
apparently some private auto group or something like that.
No shit.
So it's hidden and it's not even talked about. So
Interesting.
yeah, man. But do you think taking pictures?
Yeah, all right.
Because it's definitely drawing the crowd.
No shit. Yeah. I can see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take care.
All right, man. Good meeting you, man.
All right, yeah, you too. It's nice seeing you.
All the time, brother.
All right.
All right.
Back out here before I get. What's this? Hummer. They got a Hummer. Hummer electric vehicle right there. HEV. Holy shit.
Hey, I know you normally film Jeeps.
Huh? What'd you say? Go around me.
I know you normally film Jeeps, man. That's my legally tinted Jeep over there.
Oh yeah, most of the cops they're not paying too much attention to that lately.
Yeah, I got the windshield, everything tinted. So
Yeah, for the most part, they're not too crazy on that lately. It's like I've been seeing fewer and fewer cops around. So
yeah, I got my H2 behind you.
I saw. Yeah, that's a Hummer EV.
EV, yeah,
That's yeah. Oh, he's part of the raffle too.
I guess so.
No shit.
All right, brother.
All right, yeah, you'll try to turn it to Dubai over here.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got the Spectre. That shit is a freaking Spectre. I saw one of those in the New York International Auto Show. But and then the Cullinan, yeah, that's what it is. Wow. Holy shit. Oh, that's a Maybach EQS. All right. Wow, cool. They say if you find yourself in a hole, you should probably stop digging. And right now, a large percentage of America is in a hole with credit cards. Now, I'm very fortunate because on my channel and in my own life, I've preached paying off your balance every single night and not running any revolving debt. My credit card, I use it every single day. I use it for groceries. I use it for whatever I buy, basically. But I pay it off every single night. And I wait until the balance gets posted. And as soon as it gets posted, I pay it off. And I've gotten into so many arguments with people who say, oh, you don't need to do that. Well, you can wait till the end of the month and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you need to pay it off every single night if you want to be able to ever achieve a perfect credit score. Yes, that's right. I maintain an 850 credit score. My 850 credit score did dip at one point because I had leased a new car. And on top of that, I took out a credit card with Wells Fargo. I've told this story before in a different video. And it was a Wells Fargo autograph card. And I charged, I think it was about $8,200 in order to go on my vacation to Bali and Singapore. And the reason why I specifically chose that card was because they were offering 0% interest for 1 year. Now, what's funny is after I got that card, I started to notice that I started to get a lot of offers in the mail, and they were all offering basically the exact same thing. They were offering deferred interest for at least 1 year or 2 years. So basically the way it works with me and with my family, the people who I've, tried to teach how to purchase things, if they need new appliances, I'll take them to Home Depot or Lowe's. And usually during Black Friday, they give you 1 year, no interest, or they'll even give you 2 years, no interest, depending upon how much you're spending, especially Home Depot. And when you do that, you're basically financing an item. You're getting the free shipping or whatever it is. You're paying the taxes, obviously. But what you're not paying is you're not paying interest because you have 1 year to pay the interest. It's no different than if you finance a vacation. I took out this credit card. This credit card had a $15,000 limit. I took out at the same time, I also took out an Xbox MasterCard. That card had like a $10,000 limit. Now, never mind the poor judgment in giving kids who have Xbox a credit card with $10,000 as a limit on it. Never mind that. I specifically took out those cards for a couple of reasons. Number one, obviously, is because I was going to finance my vacation on one of them. Business class on ANA, Japanese Airlines. What was that? 7,000. Wait, how many miles was it? The first trip was like 30 hours. I had the lounge access. That was like 30 hours because the layovers were really long. But I think in total I flew about 15,000 miles because each way it was like 7,500 miles, right? I think the first way, I think it was actually more miles than the second way because I went to Singapore on the way back. But the bottom line is I financed that trip and I paid it off. I paid no interest on that trip. Now, for some people, maybe it's not a trip you will need to finance. Maybe what you may have to do in some cases is maybe you've got too many credit card calls coming in, and maybe what you need to do is consolidate your debt into one card. When I say if you're in a hole, you need to stop digging. If you do qualify for some cards that allow you to transfer balances and allow you to also have a certain amount of time with 0% interest, that may be possibly the best way you can consolidate your credit card debt. But the stipulation is you need to stop digging the hole for yourself. You need to stop using those cards. When I was in college, I had student loan debt. I had credit card debt. I've talked about this before. And what I did was I took out a student loan when I'd gotten a scholarship to get my first master's, but I did take out a student loan. And the student loan was specifically so I could consolidate my debt. Not only that, but that student loan was deferred until long after you graduate. So what I did was I consolidated all my debt. It ended the harassing calls. It ended all the threats that you were getting in the mail. Oh, yeah, you're going to get sued and this, that, and other. We're going to default your judgment, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you actually need to make decisions like that. It's kind of, I liken it, I always likened it myself. I likened it that you're borrowing from Peter in order to pay Paul because Peter's interest rate is lower and Peter has deferred payment. Paul doesn't. So when you understand that logic and you understand discipline for using credit, If you can couple those things together, it can help you to get on the road to rebuilding your credit, and it can also help you learn how to earn money or rewards towards the regular purchases you normally would be spending. Again, I use my credit card every single day. I walk around with no cash in my wallet. I have no cash in my wallet. The only time I ever have cash in my wallet is somebody gives me cash and I don't spend it because I'm not putting money into the gas tank because I have a credit card. So I'm using the credit card, to put money into my gas car. And for my electric car, I don't have to pay that at all for the first 2 years because I got EVgo free charging on my Cadillac Lyric. So long story short, it's like you need credit discipline. For one thing, you need credit discipline. You also have to have a goal and you have to have a plan. There are some people who don't like to travel. There are some people who like to eat out all the time. They have cards specifically for that. There are some people who like to travel, like me. They have cards specifically for that. I only have like a couple of stipulations when it comes to getting a credit card. Number one, I'm not paying any annual fees. Nothing that they offer is worth an annual fee. They can talk about, okay, well, we'll give you concierge service. Yeah, well, I can pay for concierge service and I don't need to pay you an annual fee. Most of these cards, American Express, the black cards, they want like $500 or $600 or more every single year. It doesn't cost me $600 to get a car or a limo to drive me from here to my airport, JFK. I could do that with Uber Black for $100 or less, round trip. It might cost $50 one way, $50 back. I don't need to use Uber Black. But what I'm saying is there's no services that they're charging worth that much money a year unless you're a business user and you can actually justify those expenses. Yes, there's some people who travel business class only because they have jobs that pay for it themselves. I know somebody in IT and they fly back and forth, Dubai, whatever, and the job pays for it. And it doesn't matter, they're always getting that level of service. They're never in economy. So if you have it like that, oh yeah, maybe a business card might work for you. Or perhaps you have a CPA and he figures out a way to write it off so that $600 a year or that $500 a year doesn't even really come out of your pocket. It just comes out of your taxes, maybe. Certain people can figure it out. Certain people can write these things off. Certain people can, get around it. I'm pretty sure if I asked my CPA a way that I could justify that expense, I'm pretty sure he would figure it out. My problem is at this point, I just took out $25,000 worth of credit cards. I don't need another credit card right now. I have over $50,000 of available credit right now. And those cards I only use sparingly in order to make sure that they stay active and in order to make sure that they are doing something at any given time just to make sure the bank doesn't try to close them. Because the problem is if you get credit cards closed, that hurts your score because it reduces your credit card availability. So anyway, I talked a little bit about that. Let's look at just a couple of credit cards they offer. They're talking about, this is August 27, 2024. They're saying, yeah, there's a couple of cards being offered where you pay 0% interest until 2026. This is at comparecredit.com. Now, normally I would post the link to the URL. But what YouTube has started doing is YouTube has started cracking down on people posting external links. So now I'm actually worried about posting external links because the first time they get you, you get like a warning. The second time you get like a strike. I don't want to get a strike because these scumbag techno-fascists, I just got off of Facebook jail. My Facebook jail started while I was in Bali. And it was 30 days of Facebook jail, so it just ended like just now. Just this morning, in fact. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And it wasn't like they like to say, oh yeah, it was hate speech and all that bullshit. Just because I curse somebody out, it doesn't necessarily mean it's hate speech. But even if it was hate speech, it's like, who are you to censor me? It's like, I can't wait to the day when these techno-fascists are dragged to the hook. You hear what I'm saying? I mean that. Like some people think I'm joking when I make these references to capital punishment. I'm not joking. I mean it. I absolutely mean it. So anyway, it says if you're suffering under the weight of steep interest rates or your current credit card, the Bank of America credit card could be just what you need. So they have this Bank of America or Bank AmeriCard credit card. This is Bank of America. It says you have to have excellent credit to get it. They say that excellent credit is 660 to 850, which is bullshit because excellent credit is really like 750 to 850. In fact, I would actually say it's like 780 to 850 if it's excellent. Good is like anything below 750, we'll say, or anything below 780. There are different ranges because out of the 3 credit reporting bureaus, 2 of them go up to 850. The other one I think only goes up to 830. I forget which one's which off the top of my head. Bottom line is the ranges can be a little bit different. So 780 and 750 is a difference of 30 points. So, that's the difference between good and excellent. But anyway, it says the ongoing APR is 16.24% through 26.24%. Now, first of all, it's illegal for them to charge you 30% interest. That it violates the usury laws. However, to get around that, what they'll do is they'll charge you interest and they'll charge you finance charges. And God forbid you're ever late on a payment, they charge you a late fee. A late fee of $15 can easily exceed a finance charge, and it can also easily exceed the monthly payment depending upon what you owe. So they can get you 3 times instead of once just to get around that 30% usury fee law limit. But anyway, it says a fee of 3% for 60 days from account opening, then 4% applies to all balance transfers. So they're saying that if you do try to transfer your balances, they are going to charge you a fee. They say a 3% fee for 60 days from account opening, then 4%. Wow. Paying down your credit card balance can be tough when you see the majority of your payment going to interest rather than the principal of your balance. But when you transfer your balance to the bank card, AmeriCard, credit card, every penny of your payment goes towards the principal of your balance. Okay, so these are the actual stipulations. They say there's no annual fee, no penalty APR. Paying late won't automatically raise your interest rate. They say regular APR is 16 to 26.24. It says intro APR, 0% intro APR for 18 billing cycles for purchases and for any balance transfers made in the first 60 days. A fee of 3% for 60 days from account opening, then 4% applies to all balance transfers. So right away, what they're saying is they're giving you, if you do get this card and you do use it to transfer balances, like let's say you use it to consolidate a couple of other credit cards, within the first 60 days, there's no fee, or there's no interest, I should say. After that, they have a 3% fee. No annual fee. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't know if it says anything about the maximum credit availability. Like it doesn't say how much they'll give you on the card, but they give it a 5 out of 5. They say you save on interest with this extra long 0% intro APR fee and pay no annual fee up until you pay off that debt. It says this is intro APR for 18 billing cycles. That's a long time. So let's just understand what this means. For 18 billing cycles, if I had this card or if I open this card right now, 18 billing cycles, the card will get to me within 5 days from now. Let's say I want to book that trip to Bora Bora. Let's say that trip is going to cost me $10,000, right? Just like the last trip that I did to Bali and Singapore. Let's say this is going to cost $10,000. So what would happen is I would book the trip right now, or I would wait till Black Friday and I'd book the trip. And because this is such a large expense, the rewards points are going to give me maybe, let's say $500 is going to come back to me. When that $500 comes back to me, what I would do, just like I did last time, is I apply that $500 to the overall balance. So that's basically $500 off of that $10,000 trip, simply because you financed it. Now, the kicker is that you have to pay off that remaining $9,500. As long as you do that within 18 months, you're fine. So 18 months, what is that? A year plus 6 months. So you think about it. We have tax season coming up. And if you're working and you make enough money every month, well, you'll keep applying a bit of that money towards this overall payment. And eventually you knock it right down over 1 year and 6 months. Now, that's assuming you wanted to do something like that. Now, I did it, and it worked perfectly. All right, so let's see. Other cards that they have. Let me go back to the top. Compare credit. Yeah. Okay, so that's one card. The Bank AmeriCard credit card, right? So then another one that they have is the Bank of America Travel Rewards credit card, right? So obviously this one is designed for travelers. Now, I will say this, and I've talked to my family about this because they, for whatever reason, they like flying Delta. I think Delta is a shit airline. I think they made a deal with the devil when they started buying planes solely from Boeing. I think if Delta has any brains in their head, they would liquidate their Boeing aircraft and they'd go out and buy Airbus. But something tells me that's not going to happen. I think the American air carriers made a deal with the devil by buying Boeing. And if you know anything about air travel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The A350 ultra long range is the future of air travel for the coming time. The A380 is too expensive to run. The 747 is too expensive to run because these are quad engine jets. The A340 is too expensive to run. It's another quad engine jet. The A350, 900, and 1000, that is the near future of air travel right now. The 787 is too small. The Boeing Dreamliner 787, it's too small. What else? The 777X is a failure. And I know some people go, oh, well, it's not out yet. Yeah, it's not out yet for a reason. They're doing stress tests and finding out that the thing is literally breaking. The engines are splitting apart from the frame. The frames are cracking. The 77X is, as far as I'm concerned, it's a failure. In fact, I don't think I'd ever feel safe getting in one of those things now. Now that I see that program is having so many problems, I don't even think I'd feel safe getting in one of those things. Now, the A350 has a good long safety record, just like the A380. The A380's safety record is pretty much flawless. I would rather be on an Airbus, but these American airlines, they're screwed. They're forced to keep buying these shit Boeing planes. Now, I'm diverging, but I don't want to diverge, so let me get back to this card. Okay, it says the Bank of America Travel Rewards Credit Card offers a generous rewards rate and 0% interest APR for 15 billing cycles. So instead of 18, you got 15. It says for purchases and for balance transfers made in the first 60 days. The ongoing APR is 19.24 through 29.24. Notice that they don't go to 30% because they can't. Variable APR on purchases and balance transfers. A fee of 3% for 60 days from account opening, then 4% applies to all balance transfers. So let's just understand this. It's 0% interest for 15 billing cycles. So that means, just like the 18 billing cycles, if you buy something for $100, as long as you pay it back within those 15 billing cycles, it only costs you $100. It does not cost you $108, or it doesn't cost you $116, or it doesn't cost you $132. So the problem is you have to make sure that you pay it back in time. Okay. Now, as far as the travel rewards, it says with this card, you earn unlimited 1.5 points per dollar spent. That's an unusually high rewards rate for a travel card with no annual fee. New card holders also receive a top-tier sign-up bonus of $25,000 points after you make at least $1,000 in purchases in the first 90 days. So what they're saying is you have to buy $1,000 worth of purchases in the first 90 days, and that will give you a return of $250 statement credit towards travel purchases specifically. When you get one of these travel cards, you're locked into travel purchases. Now, if you ask them for instant cash, chances are the points will not equal the amount of money 1-to-1. It's usually only 1-to-1 if you're using it for travel purchases. Then they have City Double Cash. City Double Cash. Okay, let's go back. So the City Double Cash card. It says when it comes to cashback cards, City Double Cash from our partner Citibank is truly one of a kind. It's the only card that allows you to earn cash back twice. Cardholders earn 2% on every purchase with unlimited 1% cash back when you buy, plus an additional 1% as you pay for those purchases. With no rotating categories and no special bonuses on certain spending, you simply earn the same flat rate of 2% no matter what you are purchasing. And that's not too bad because most cards, even Apple Card, they only give you like 1% on certain things, and the max is like 3% on very certain things that with places they want you to shop. So they're saying you get 2% on whatever you're buying. This card even comes with no annual fee and a top tier intro APR on balance transfer, 0% for 18 months. Okay, so you got 18 months where you don't have to pay interest on a purchase. It says 18 months on balance transfers. So if you do transfer your balances, they give you 18 months to pay that shit off before you end up having to pay the APR, the variable rate, whatever it is. Okay, so that's Bank of America Travel. You got Discover It. Me personally, I don't think I'll ever get a Discover card again. I'm not a fan of Discover. I think I've told the story when I was in college. I owed Discover like $5,000 on a credit card. They sued me. They won like instantly. And then they garnished my wages for like the next, I think it was like year or something. So anyway, Wells Fargo Active Cash. What's this? It says the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card is a revolutionary credit card that offers consumers everything they could want in a cash rewards card. Enjoy one of the highest flat rate cash backs we've ever seen. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. There are no caps, no restrictions, no rotating categories to keep track of. Cardholders will also enjoy 0% APR for 12 months. So this is only 12 months, just like my Wells Fargo autograph. That means you'll have a year to take a break from high interest rates. 1 year. Even with that lucrative rewards rate on spending and lengthy intro APR offer, this card offers a stellar sign-up bonus. Earn a $200 rewards bonus after spending $500 in purchases in the first 3 months. Okay, so you have to spend $500. Let's see, is there anything else here? City, let's see if Capital One. Okay, this is the card that I actually bought, so I'm going to skip over the others. You can come back and read about those other lesser cards. The card that I got was called the Wells Fargo Autograph Card. The Wells Fargo Autograph Card is a prime example of a low-interest credit card that provides cardholders with favorable interest rates as well as other opportunities. With this card, individuals receive 0% intro APR for 12 months. From account opening on purchases. After that, it's like 20 to 29.99. Notice that they can't go to 30%. Variable APR. The low interest feature of the Wells Fargo Autograph Card makes it an appealing choice for individuals who want to minimize interest expenses and reduce debt. In my case, I just wanted to finance my vacation. So I went I got to tell you about my vacation because some of you are new here. Because I noticed that I just hit 90.7 thousand subscribers, right? I was at 90.6, so there's some new people here. So anyway, I used the Wells Fargo Autograph Card, and I had a travel agency called ASAP Tickets, ASAP, right? Now, some people don't like them. I've had a good time with them. I didn't have a problem with them. When I want to go to multiple cities, I usually use a travel agent. So in this case, the stipulation was I want to fly business class round trip with no, because what they do, sometimes you fly business class and then they try to put you on an economy flight in order to save money. I said, no. I wanted all business class. So I wanted all business class on ANA, the room, which is basically like a cubicle, Japanese style business class on a plane. And it was very nice. You know, I videotaped the whole thing. I told them I wanted lounge access every single time I stopped. So I had lounge from the moment I was dropped off at JF Kennedy Airport to begin my trip on the 4th of July, I had lounge access. So I went straight to the lounge And I think I was in there for about 2 hours before the flight. I think I was talking to this lovely Japanese chick, and we were hobnobbing and whatnot, and we were talking and eating, obviously, at the same time. The food was terrible, but the drinks were good. The desserts were good. I was not a fan of the food. I felt it was kind of dry, and it was their food. I'm not a fan of Japanese food, and when it comes to these airports, a lot of times they have shit preparation. I think thus far the best lounge I've been to was the Emirates Lounge in Dubai. So anyway, you get on the plane. It's drinking on demand, food on demand. Anytime you get hungry, you just, hey, excuse me. Yes, hi, stewardess. Can I have more sake? And she's looks at you and she says, hi. And then she goes and gets the sake. She's pouring up the sake. And you drink the sake. I had the, what was it? Sweet potato shochu. And I had a couple of cups of that. That stuff was like 25% alcohol by volume. And she was so lovely. Her name was Mrs. Kondo. And she was on my first flight. Coming back, I had Miss Narita. And they were lovely, lovely, perfect women. Perfect in every way. Perfect. They were perfect in every way. So anyway, lounge access in Jakarta wasn't that great. It's like they don't have alcohol. It's like a Muslim country or something. In Haneda Airport, yeah, the lounge access was very nice. The showers were beautiful. The toilet was fantastic. You could literally sit there and spray water right up the crack of your ass. You could do that for as long as you wanted. Nobody bothered you. And the drinks were okay. They could have served more soda than just Pepsi, Coke, or ginger ale, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Pepsi, Sprite, and ginger ale. Seagram's, I believe. But they also had Coke. They didn't have that many flavors of soda. I'll just say that. They had coffee, they had cappuccino, you could order soup. That was great. So my 2 hotels in Bali, I had a very lovely hotel room. Me and my Chinese cohort, I should say consort, whatever you want to say. So anyway, she was with me. We had a really lovely time in Bali. And then we went to Singapore. I flew business class on KLM. Apparently there was no short flight between Bali and Singapore. So I flew business class on KLM. And then, what else? Stayed in Singapore. I did as much as I could in Singapore, but Singapore was so hot. And it was like I was sweating. You just walk outside, you start sweating. Singapore, as far as I'm concerned, I'll probably never go there again. I've seen it. Once you see it once, it's like, yeah, I don't think I ever have to come back here again. It's not like Dubai. Dubai is really, really awesome. Dubai is the type of place, yeah, I could go there a couple of times. All of this was paid for by this Wells Fargo autograph card, all of it. And I initially got like $560 or $70 back in cash back rewards. I took that first payment and I paid that using the rewards. So that knocked down the remaining amount that I had to pay back. And then I paid back the rest in my own cash. So yeah, it was perfect and didn't pay a dime in interest. In fact, I should say this, because I purchased that ticket during Black Friday of last year, technically my last payments aren't even due until November of this year. So we still have, September, October, November. I still have 3 months, but I've paid it off and that's a weight off my shoulders. I always pay early. If you pay early, it helps build your credit score. It helps keep your credit score high. And it always ensures that the creditors look at you favorably. In fact, after I finished paying it off, a zero balance letter of some type was sent to the creditors. And they actually sent me a message that says, yes, we've received a zero balance that says, yes, this is paid off. Same thing for when I paid off my car early. When I paid off one of my cars early, you get that zero balance letter. And the creditors know it, and they're like, holy shit, who is this guy? These Americans are going deeper and deeper into debt. These women have 2/3 of the $1.8 trillion of student loan debt. Who the fuck is this guy paying off these debts early? Like I was watching Game of Thrones a little while ago, and there's a part where Cersei tells the Iron Bank, yeah, I'm going to pay you guys back, and I'm going to pay you back in gold by the end of the next week. And she keeps her word. And the guy, he's collecting the gold. He's like, wow, we were really getting used to your interest payments. We're a little bit upset that you're paying us back early. And she was like, oh, well, we'll just have to figure out another way to keep you motivated. The banks hate it when you pay early. The creditors love it when you pay early, but the banks hate it when you pay early. I pay early. I pay everything early. My student loans paid early. My car payoffs pay early. These people hate me. They hate me because they can't talk me into buying shit that I don't want. They can't talk me into financing stuff that I shouldn't be financing. It's like if I go with friends and we go and we're looking at a car, I'm telling them, I'm like, wait a minute, you don't need that. You don't need this. All they're trying to do is they're trying to make you finance this shit and you're going to pay like 2 or 3 times what it's worth. They hate me so much and I enjoy their hatred. I love it. I cherish their hatred because when they sit in front of me, they're like, holy shit, this fucking guy knows what he's talking about. And they're like, yeah, we can't rip this guy off because he knows. How does he know? I walk around with a mortgage calculator in my pocket. It's like, you're not getting me. Who the fuck do you think you are? I came to buy. You're here to sell. And the only way you're selling is if I'm buying. And that's how it works. So you get me some coffee. That's what you do. They hate me. I love it. Where was I? So anyway, in addition to its low interest rates, the Wells Fargo Autograph Card also offers other valuable features that can enhance the cardholder's financial well-being, really, because I haven't really seen much of this. It says this includes benefits like no annual fee. Okay, that's one good thing. A generous welcome offer. Earn 20,000 bonus points when you spend 1,000 in purchases in the first 3 months. That's $200 cash. Now, once again, the deal was different when I took out this card. I got like $500 and something back. So the deal was slightly different, but the deal is still there. You know, they all offer you, they say, oh, well, if you're going to make a purchase, you know, we'll give you a slight amount of cash back. Now, there's also this TD Double Up credit card. I'm not a fan, really, of TD Bank. I mean, there's nothing wrong with TD Bank necessarily, to my knowledge. I'm just not a fan. So what are they offering? They say if you're looking for a balance transfer card that also offers strong cashback rewards, TD Double Up Credit Card could be the card for you. Get away from the high interest rates with the help of 0% APR for 15 billing cycles. And after that, oh shit, 30.24. Now, the reason why I think that they're allowed to do 30.24 is possibly because it's a Canadian bank. TD stands for Toronto Dominion. This is not necessarily an American bank. It's like, I think they have the ability to exceed 30% because you normally never see 30%. You only see like 29.99, and that's as high as they'll go. But this is Canadian, so I think they're allowed to trick you or something. So it says for cash back, this card comes with a hefty, unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, plus $150 cash back in the form of a statement credit that you spend $1,000 within the first 90 days after account opening. With no annual fee, this card is an easy choice for anyone looking to combine a 0% interest balance transfer with unlimited cash back on purchases. So they're giving you 90 days to spend $1,000. That should be easy. And there's zero annual fees, and it's 15 billing cycles or 15 months with 0 APR. So that's not too bad. I guess that's similar to the Wells Fargo autograph. So that's basically it. Those are the cards that they've recently come to offer. And you know what? This was written on August 27th. I've noticed that some YouTubers, I'm not going to name names, when these new articles get published, they suddenly go live and they have a show about repairing your credit or improving your credit or new credit cards to consider. So here's my issue. And I'm just going to show you my credit score, and I'm going to show you where I am just so you can see it for yourself while I talk about it. All right, so here you go. My credit score. Boom, look at that. 850. Now, if you take a look at the months before, yes, it did take a dip, but that's because in last November, what I did was I opened up 2 credit cards and then I purchased a car through a lease. That dropped my score down to 817, as you can see in January. I took delivery on my Cadillac Lyric on January 2nd of 2024. So that dropped my score all the way down to 817. But as you can see, before long, it was right back up to 850. By June of by June of this year, I had paid off the what was it? What was that fucking shit? When I used the Wells Fargo autograph card, I paid it all back. So the total, like some people probably ask, oh, how much was your trip? Because there's a lot of people be asking me how much my trip was. They've heard about Bali. They've never been there. They want to go there. Chances are most people who go there are going to go there in a group and they're going to go there flying economy. I refuse. Let me tell you something. After the shit that I've seen these people pulling where they, trying to get your seat from you and, oh, can I sit next to my daughter? And your seat's a window seat and they're trying to get you up out of your seat and give you an inferior seat so that they can sit next to their kid or their family member or something like. After I seen the shit that these people have been pulling on these planes lately, I refuse to ever fly economy ever again. I will keep an empty credit card just as an emergency if I ever need to take a flight anywhere. And I will finance whatever the trip is, and then I'll pay it back in cash when I get home. I refuse to ever fly economy ever again. I will never put myself in that situation with the people ever again. Ever again. When they see me, I'm going to be Cersei Lannister up in the front of the plane with a wine goblet, sipping on the wine, the sake, the champagne, whatever it is. I refuse to be in the back of that plane. I refuse. Ever again. In the entire rest of my life. Never again. It's business class only. Some planes have first class. Some planes only have business class. But I will be business class till the end of my days. I will never be in economy ever again. Ever. To hell with that shit. So anyway, my credit score went right back up. June, it was 850. July, it's 850. August is 850. And now September, as of 9/1/2024, it is 850. But what you can see on my credit is that no longer does everything say exceptional. New credit applications, they hit you if you do 2 within, I think it's 2 years. I did 3 within 2 years. So the car was 1 because they do a hard pull for a lease from GMAC. The Wells Fargo autograph card was another. And then the other was obviously the Xbox Live or Xbox MasterCard. So that was $25,000 worth of credit and a $40,000 lease. So I pulled out, what was it, $60,000 worth of credit or something like that. So that's just what it is. That's just what it is. As far as payment history, you can see it's exceptional. Not a single late payment in like years. Current debt's exceptional. What is that? 1% of my credit is always being used because I'm always using my credit card anyway. It says accounts with balances. It says 3, but I'm trying to figure out what 3 are they talking about because I typically only use 1. But it says the total balance. So this is what most likely happened. The last information they got was when I had started spending, and they got the information before I paid it off. So they say that the total amount of balance is $124. Obviously, I'm paying that off like instantaneously. It's no big deal. Credit history. 9 years, 9 months, the oldest credit account, 22 years, 2 months. Now, the reason why that's important is because you have to prove to the bank that you can be trusted with different types of credit. Now, I understand that there's people on YouTube and they talk all this bullshit. Oh, well, I don't play the credit card game and I pay Cash for now. Nobody out here, unless you're rich, is paying cash for a house. It's not happening. But you got these people talking about, oh, well, I'll just save up money and I'll pay cash for a house. Yeah, well, guess what? While you were saving up money, the price of a house increased by like 30 or 40% between 2018 and now. So whatever you saved, it certainly ain't enough. That's why you're still renting, smartass. So anyway, new credit applications. Well, obviously it says, what is this? It says 0 recent inquiries in 8 months. It says you have 0 new credit apps in the last 12 months. Okay, so eventually that'll go back to exceptional. I'm not worried about it. It says types of credit, 15 revolving accounts, really. 11 installment loans. Gee, I'm not even... I think they're just counting credit things. Because if you... so if you count both of my houses and you were to count... What is it? Both of my cars, but one of the cars is paid off and one of the houses... I don't know how they're doing this, but I don't know. I don't know why it says 11. I guess they're counting the credit cards too. I guess. I don't know. But I ain't worried about none of that anyway, because I already know my bills, they come, they go, they get paid instantaneously. I'm not even thinking about this shit. So it says enjoy 21 months of our lowest intro APR with the Wells Fargo Reflect card. So already they're trying to get you to take out another card. Look at this shit. Let's take a look at it real quick. So it says, oh, you want to apply for the Reflect Visa card? The answer is no, because I already have enough and I don't need another hit on my credit for taking out another card. It says 21 months of our lowest intro APR, 0 annual fee. From account opening on purchase. Okay, so it says 21 months of the lowest APR. But no. If your lowest APR is not 0, then I'm not interested. Balance transfer is made within 120 days qualify for the introductory rate. But see, this is how they get you. This whole thing about balance transfers, and that's where I'm going to probably end. The average person, the average household, the average American, you're not fucking Goldman Sachs. The average person is not disciplined enough to be just doing balance transfers and then paying them off in the proper amount of time. If they were capable of doing that, they wouldn't need balance transfers anyway, because they'd already have paid off their revolving balances prior. So I think that this it reminds me a lot of 2007 and 2008. When I was younger and I was still in college, I'm getting all of these credit card applications. And now I feel the same way. I'm getting all these crazy credit card applications with all these crazy promises, 0 this, 0 that. To tell you the truth, at this point when I get these credit card applications, I pile them up, I take them outside, and I burn them. Like, I just burn them. I don't even shred them, I burn them. It feels so much like 2008. It's like they're trying to give people ways to defer their high credit card balances, if but for 1 or 2 years. In many cases, it's like 1 year or 15 months. And I have to wonder to myself, what kind of economy is this where people have to feel that they use their credit cards to supplement the income that they don't have? And then they fall so far behind on those credit cards that they have to defer these payments for up to 15 months. Like, what kind of economy is that? I will say this. If it wasn't for credit cards, this country would be a hell of a lot different. People, see, you got to think about it. It's not like, oh yeah, well, you wouldn't be able to eat, or you wouldn't be able to get milk, or you wouldn't be able to get bread, or some shit like that. These people are using credit cards to buy Birkin bags and Gucci shoes and Gucci belts and stupid shit. And Nikes and Jordans and fucking Gucci glasses and Prada this and Femi that. It's not like these people are starving. This is not starving. This is people buying Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 and Xbox. And what they have to show for it is $1.2 trillion of credit card debt and $1.8 trillion of student loan debt. That's what they have to show for it. Because I will say this, a large amount of that student loan debt that you'll never hear about, first of all, a lot of these kids are going to party schools and they're not doing shit except partying. That's number one. Number two, when they're going to these schools, where do you think the money to buy a Mac laptop, a MacBook Pro, or all that shit, where do you think all that money's coming from? A lot of that money's coming from these student loans. They're taking the student loans, they're buying iPhones, they're buying MacBooks, they're buying iPads. Oh, but it's a school expense. I have to have a MacBook. I gotta have a MacBook Pro so that I can do classwork. And these parents are either oblivious or stupid. And they're just allowing themselves to get conned by these kids who, oh, yeah, Mom, Dad, I need more money. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Click. I don't get it. But what you have is a bill that says $1.8 trillion in student loans. With, by the way, women owe half of, well, no, I'm sorry, it's not even half. It's 2/3. The statements actually show women owe 2/3 of that student loan debt. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a PhD. I'm going to get a PhD. It's just me and my cat in the apartment, so I'm going to get a PhD. Like, PhD? What the fuck do you need a PhD for? And you're barely working. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. Career students. You've heard that term? I barely hear that term used anymore. They used to call them career students. They'd be in school all their lives. 4 years is how long it's supposed to take you to graduate college. Here, you explain to me, why is it taking you 6 years, 7 years, 8 years? Some of these people be in school for 10 years and have nothing to show for it. They can't, and they get a degree and they can't even get a job. So my point is this: it's like these credit cards. If it wasn't for credit cards, I tell you what, people would vote differently. The political landscape would be completely different. Because, it's funny. Most of these people, if you really grilled them, most of these people have no idea what the Federal Reserve is. They have no idea what the interest rate is. They have no idea who Jerome Powell is. They have no idea. They think the president controls all that shit. They know they're ready to vote for Kamala Harris. But they have no idea about what she can and can't do in office. They have no idea what she's done or hasn't done while she's been vice president. Only what they hear on MSNBC and the Communist News Network, CNN. That's it. These people, they have no understanding of civics, and they have no understanding of finances. When you try to explain it to them, they don't want to hear it. They act like they want to hear it. But when you tell them, no, you can't afford that, put down your credit card, then they turn a deaf ear. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that. They just want to hear, I can buy whatever I want when I want to buy it. It's like, no, you can't. If you have cash money because you worked hard, yeah, you can. If you're just using credit cards and now the Federal Reserve jacks up the interest rate and now you can't afford something at all because the monthly payments are way too high, no, you can't afford it. And that's it. I think if it wasn't for all these credit cards, I think American politics would be an entirely different place. It would be an entirely different beast, an entirely different animal. So what they've done is they've pacified us by giving us credit cards. Could you imagine if people were getting to the end of the month and didn't have enough money left in their check to eat? Could you imagine what the country would be like then? Could you imagine if they didn't have the ability to simply swipe a card and all their problems just go away? Temporarily, I should say. It would be a whole nother place. And I've been to a lot of countries just like that. Philippines is one of them. They ain't got credit cards down there. Either you got money or you don't. And if you don't got money, well, chances are you're going to have to do something that you may not want to do for some money. So bottom line is, and that could be anything. You may have to clean a gutter. You may have to, you may have to sweep the streets for money. Who knows? But it's just amazing to me that, we get into these situations with, deeper and deeper into credit card debt. The country's $35 trillion in debt. It's just amazing. But that's just where, Y'all are. I'm not going to say we are because I ain't part of this. When I decide to retire, I'm up and out of here. You're going to find me on a beach in one of these Southeast Asian countries sipping buko juice until I die from it. Like I'll literally sip the buko juice till it fills up my blood. And just like these passport bros will be going away and they get old and they be passing away in other countries, that'll be me. I'll be sipping that buko juice. I have some young girl giving me massages. I don't know which one's going to get me first, the massages or the buko juice. And the thing about it, what I will not do is I will not accept, how should I say, slaving away in this country right here. I won't accept that under any circumstances. But that's just where we are. Now, you have a choice to make. Your choice is, are you going to have good credit or are you going to have bad credit? Are you going to use your credit to better yourself and to expand your horizons, expand your mind? Are you going to travel with your credit, or are you just going to sit here and do nothing? Are you just going to sit here and try to use your credit to just buy toys? It's like, no, I'm not doing it. But that's your choice. Everybody has a choice to make. So that's all I got to say. And I think I went a little long on this video, but the bottom line is that's just it.